This is just some of my stuff in this car. Like, there are all these flossers, lip chapstick, lozenges, flossers, flashlights, extra packs from sugar, ketchup, mustard, CBD oil from Fruit of the Earth in Santa Fe. This little police car, well, I was pulled over by the police. Some stuff, there's a lot of stuff in here from Beekman. My mom has a lot of stuff from Beekman and has sent it to me over the years. And I've got a bunch of it, but she has tons of it piled in her house. But this is just some of it, like these poop bags, and I gotta hurry, but there's a lot of stuff in here. In my van, my nice time van at Speedway. Here's some of my coin collection. Here's my tripod and all my chargers. Charge my car and plug in a bunch of stuff by DC, and my iPad, my dog muzzle with a cue card on it. I've got a couple of those in here, and water, and a Camelback, and a Camelback cooler. I've got all these things. Two plug-in USB fans, a bunch of North Face jackets. Gosh, I have shopped and shopped at these great shoes from REI, these hiking boots. And this from REI, this Overland equipment bag with all kinds of compartments in it, and mechanics for tools, and all my stuff to keep my car clean. A Bible. There was a whole stack of Bibles at my mom's house, including this beautiful Bible that's been in my house and my family for a long time, with really great pictures that I wanted to get. And here's a visor that I put in here that didn't have one, so I got these. I've got all these Velcro things to hang things off of. A cigarette making machine, a headlamp. I used that. A lot of this stuff in my mom's house when the power went out and when everything froze over. My UGG lookalikes, I did have a pair of Uggs that, I had a couple of pair of Ugg style shoes, and these, and one got blown away on my car topper. This sunshade that I need to replace for a cloth one. My ukulele, I have a couple of ukuleles in here. A wash bucket, which is like, I can go to the bathroom in that bucket. It's, a bunch of different Buc-ee's, you name it. There is just, it just goes on and on with camping gear. Look like this is a Nalgene bottle to me, but they sell them at discount. Dollar General, and I bought one of those since there's not a Dollar General. I mean, there's a bunch of Dollar Generals. I've been to many, probably 20 or 30 different Dollar General stores in California and Utah and New Mexico. And then I've got this headlamp that I ordered from another company it's supposed to be able to blind a bear, and I believe it. I mean, with 3 lights on it, but it gets super dark in Santa Fe where you can't even see in front of your face. If the lights went out, you would be blinded completely. You wouldn't be able to see anything. And the same thing here, where I'm at right now in Red Hook. A bunch of lighters. I must have probably 30 lighters in here. And all these bags that I bought at a truck stop, probably have 12 of those. And bungee cords for days. Like, I love to shop at Harbor Freight. I shopped in there in Santa Fe and here and a couple of other stores. I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. And I've got Goal Zero, which I've had the first one that they ever had somewhere in all this, but this came from a truck stop. And my iPad and iPad cover, and this to charge my iPhone, and this will actually jump my car. So I'm pretty much set and self-contained. There's to hang my glasses on, and a sports bottle that's actually from REI, that you can take hiking, and then a bunch of carabiners, big flashlight here, rolling, with actually a magnet top that I got in Oklahoma, and this nice cup here. I've got a huge cooler in the back, a couple of Zippo. I had a bunch of Zippo lighters. Who knows where they're at? They're somewhere in here. A couple of, probably 6 cans of Zippo lighter fluid, wicks, extra hundreds, probably 200 or 300 extra flints. And this I got at Cabela's. This, it has all different kind of measuring and nuts and bolts on it. But these are gelato. One of my favorite is the coffee, and then I like all this by Noosa yogurt, and my hookah, and there's just a lot of stuff in here. My charging in my car, my Dodge Ram ProMaster City. And this, I have myofascial pain syndrome, so it involves every muscle in my body is weak, and I've spent a long time rolling and using a trigger point roller, and going to see therapists. I've gone to craniosacral therapists. I've gone to trigger point therapists, and some of the best specialists in the United States, in San Diego. John Slatic was one of them. He posted a lot of things in his office, and he helped me, and I do have a video of him helping me. And he probably helped me the most. I definitely knew I had it before I saw him, but after seeing him, it was like my whole body was on fire, and I could barely move. I was in bed for 23.5 hours a day, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had been going to different rheumatologists, people at Sharp, Reese Daily. Some people wanted me to go to pain management, and I never went to pain management. I never was put on any kind of powerful drugs other than Neurontin, which was powerful enough for me. I ended up at Sustain Acupuncture trying to get off of it, and literally lost my mind on Neurontin, coming off of Neurontin. And you would think, I've heard that it's worse to get off benzos like Klonopin than it is to get off Neurontin, but for some reason Neurontin was the worst drug that I have ever taken to have to get off of. I mean, I went to acupuncture for 1 month or more every day, and you just don't even know what that feels like, to just get off, just to be able to eat, just to be able to hold it down. And I wasn't even on that much. I think it was under 900 milligrams, which is so low. But I have posted so much about my experience about Neurontin in my pain group. I've been deleted by a lot of people on Facebook. Right in front of my face, things get deleted, and then it's like I just erased my whole page. I erased every single post, the whole thing, and deleted my whole channel, because I'm tired. It's like I'm just, everywhere I go, It's like they don't want my voice to get out. But it's going to get out somehow to somebody eventually. It will. But for now, there's just a lot of items in here, and I've lost a lot. I've had 2 different deep freezers, dehydrators, a dehydrating oven. I've been growing organic and using the rain gutter grow system. I grew a ton of peppers from Mr. Pepper, rare seeds, 99-cent seeds, all organic heirloom seeds. And I lost a lot of those. I was a seed saver in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I drilled out the rain gutter grow system. If you've ever seen that, it made out of PVC pipe and made a frame and cut that down with my jigsaw and stained it and ran my tubing from my rain barrel all the way to my rain gutter grow system. And that, when it would rain, it would actually, well, the whole thing would get watered. So I almost didn't have to do anything except buy a bunch of shade cloths and make sure that it was covered, because it gets so hot there that everything is limp, and then it needs water, and you need to make sure and be out there all the time to make sure that it's full, and you're giving it a lot of water. In between the time that I wasn't getting any rain, because it's like this all the time out there where it's super clear, and then it's like you have to make sure the thing is getting water all the time. So you have to come up with different inventions. Some people have used boxes by wet wipes, any kind of thing like that, with toilet bowl plungers, and it's just a lot of rigging and tooling around and trying to figure out which connection, using different airline tubing, air hose, AC hose. I've used it all. I did aquarium maintenance service, so this is really sort of easy for me when I've used different tools to drill into glass and make pots out of cement. And I've done a lot of this stuff. And this is all what got taken from me in my separation. I just got sick of it, and I put her stuff outside. Just put it outside. And I would have just thrown it outside until I saw her father's Army shirt with his name on it. And of course, I didn't want this all in front of my house where other people could just see, like, wow, look what has happened here. I just set it outside like it looked like a garage sale and told her to come pick it up. And then I learned later that she's seeing somebody else the whole time. The whole time she was seeing somebody else. Elizabeth Fry works at Deaf Community Services. She worked there in San Diego, and she also worked at Santa Fe School for the Deaf. And I'm the one who actually wanted to move there. So it was my idea to move actually years ago, but her mother came over and interrupted the whole thing in Albuquerque. So I didn't get there years before I wanted to. But I'm also the one that talked to the landlord to even sell the house. And eventually she called me on Christmas Eve and said that she wanted to sell it. And it's like, oh my gosh, now I need a place to live, and I really want this place. And I went to HomeWise, and I actually told them I cannot come in because I have myofascial pain syndrome, and it's too painful for me to sit in a chair for 6 to 8 hours for 2 days. And I did a conference call and listened to the whole thing. And I had a better credit score than her. I had a 749, and she had a lower credit score. And she had already filed for bankruptcy, and I have never filed for bankruptcy. So, you know, she's saying things about me that aren't even close to true. I'm the one who held all my anger inside, because I could have really just come undone at her half the time. She's deaf and I'm hearing, as you can tell. And when I like music as much and have watched so many different shows, as a kid, and I've actually flown in my uncle's jet and flown on a helicopter to find a property, a horse property with my father and my mother, and actually even got to fly the helicopter for a short time. You know, I don't appreciate what's happened to me by anybody. And she's still got a lot of stuff. She's got my snow skis, and I worked at Alpine Meadows. And that would be considered theft. And skis have numbers on them. And she's also stolen my disability placard and used it with her mother, and she's taken it. And her brother works for Social Security Disability. So I hope that the New Paltz Police Department gets this, the courthouse gets this. What has happened to me, that I have been abused for years by Elizabeth Fry, verbally abused by her, and she's taken all my furniture that I've had for years. That was my apartment in Woodbridge. I'm the one who rented it. She lived at her mother's house in a sunken down twin bed and moved in with me. It wasn't the other way around. It was me that signed the lease. And that's all for now.